morning, everybody, and welcome to Naturally Kim's Knitting. I'm Kim, and I'm your hostess, and this is a podcast mainly about knitting, spinning, and some dyeing of yarn. And I do all of that from my home right here outside of Lima, Ohio. I know I messed up a word or two, didn't I? Anyways, I want to welcome everybody here today. Love you all. I'm so glad that you're watching. Um, Today is April 28th, and this is episode number 208. Okay, where can you find me online? Well, you can find me. I'm sorry, it's dark. It is dark in here, isn't it? I am sorry, guys. Don't know if that'll help. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what I can do. I do not have good lighting. Anyways, just a minute. Let me see if I can do something. Okay, I changed settings because I did have it set more towards the fireplace because this window that's right behind me, back here somewhere, this one, I can't point right. Anyways, I had to open it because we were having to shut our blinds because my puppy dog loves to bark at the neighbors too much, and so I was shutting the blinds so she wouldn't on our big door. Well, so it got very dark in here, so I opened up the blinds here, and it made filming last week interesting. However, the lighting today is just, I don't know why it's so bad. It's not a bad day out, so you don't really care about all these troubles, I know, but, you know, I have to talk about them sometimes. Okay, so let's see. I can be found on Ravelry as NapiersKnits, and as Naturally Kim's Knitting. That's our podcast group. Then I can be found on Instagram as knittin_Kim, and YouTube and Blogger and WordPress. I'm Naturally Kim's Knitting. Okay, well, guess what? We have a couple knit-alongs going on right now. One of them's going to end in just a couple days. Excuse me. That's our recurring one, our finished object knit-along that we do. To take part in that one, all you have to do is take a picture of a finished object, post it under the correct thread on the Ravelry Naturally Kim's Knitting podcast group, and if there's a pattern name, please link it with it. Otherwise, at the end of the month, well, actually the first day of the next month, I close the thread, I use random number generator, and I pick winners. Now, for 1 to 10 entries, there's one number drawn. For 10 to 20, well, 1 to 20, there's 2. 1 to 30, there's 3, and so on. And what I love is these last couple days of the month. It gets crazy in there because everybody will put all their finished objects in on the last couple days. Although we've had a nice span of them this time. So, anyways, yeah, get your entries in there. What are the prizes, you may ask? I almost forgot all about that. Well, you can choose from a giftable pattern up to $10. You can choose a $10 knit picks or a $10 Amazon gift card. How about that? You can enter, like I said, on Ravelry, but if you would prefer, you can go to Naturally Kim's Knitting on WordPress or Naturally Kim's Knitting on Blogger. Actually, if you type in Naturally Kim's Knitting in your search window, you should come up to one of those two. And then you can enter in there if you'd prefer, and then I can choose from just add that to the numbers. I'm not getting things out right. Now, we also have a 2-month knit-along, and you can poly dip into these. So if you got a free pattern from Ravelry and you finished it, then you can put it in the finished object thread, or you could put it in the any free pattern on Ravelry craft along. It's a 2-monther, so we have another month on that yet. Choose a free pattern from Ravelry, work it up, take your picture, post it, put the name of the pattern, and you're entered. Now the prizes will be the same as the other knit along. So yeah, and you can once again put those in WordPress or Blogger if you prefer to, Blogspot. Okay, and there's quite a few free ones out there right now. Okay, oh, and by the way, dear Asteroid, she's donated a giftable pattern from Ravelry up to $10 to one of the winners of the craft-alongs. So when it comes to it, if there's somebody who would want a pattern and not the gift card, that will be coming from Asteroid. She's a sweetheart. Thank you so much for that. I also want to remind you guys that my friend Myla, she has offered us a free pattern. If you have purchased from her in the past, a free pattern using the code SendingHugs. And she says there's no expiration on it. So if you've purchased one from her, go in there and you can get one for free. And she has so many lovely things. I've told you before, I've purchased the Leave Me Not shawl. Don't know if I can bring it up or not. Nope, can't bring it up from here because this is just a draft of my show notes. Okay, so that's all that stuff. Sorry, I had to reach forward because my tea's up there. And I'll be reaching forward again because some of my knitting's up there too. I get thirsty doing all this talking, you know? Okay, there we go. Oh, just a moment. There we go. That's for later on. So what's on my needles, you may ask? I hope I didn't mess these up last night. You know, I've told you before, I like to knit when I go to bed if I'm not especially, sorry, shaking the camera, if I'm not especially tired, but I can't take things with a pattern. Last night, I had one of those nights where I was ready to go to bed. I just wasn't ready to go to sleep yet. So I put a movie on, put my earbuds in, and I started doing this sock. And this is a basic knit to, purl to ribbing on the cuff. And I see right here where I messed up here. I'm going to have to go back a few stitches and correct that. But you would think I would have had an issue with that, which just goes to show only plain knitting when I go to bed, which I am going to be starting another sock before long. Anyways, these are for my cousin, Linda. The other one's in here somewhere. These are from Felici, and I really kind of think it's a sport weight yarn, but that's okay. It's a very nice yarn. It's self-striping, so I didn't want to put a pattern with it until I got to the cuff. And it's called Dockside. That's the color name. It's not made anymore, but isn't that pretty? I do have the other one here somewhere. I just brought everything over here together. The other one I've not gotten as far on the cuff. I didn't take it back to bed with me last night. But I did take my ribbing up the heel, and I just tried to work it in to the cuff area. So I finished something this week. Finished but not blocked or put it together yet. So those should be getting more attention now. What did I finish? I finished but didn't finish? Well, there's one sleeve. There's two sleeves. And yes, they are the same length because I did them both at the same time. Here's the front. Here's the back. And that is my Shakespeare in Love sweater. I will wear it next week when I do the podcast. I have to finish up the last little things. Didn't have time yesterday to finish them. I love how this pattern, it continues clear up through the neck. And even on the back, there's a pattern on the neck. I love that. I think that's so cool. One of those little details that makes that special. That's by Carol Sunday. Shakespeare in Love. The yarn is Knit Picks Andes 100% wool in the color red. Is that easy enough? Red. Phone, where did I put you? There you are. Don't want to forget anything. Now, okay, I'm horrible, but I've had reasons or excuses or whatever you want to call it. Sorry, my goodness. my chemo cap didn't really, I don't think I worked on it at all this past week because I've had other things I've been working on. My goodness, this just gotten tangled up. That's because you've ignored it. I wouldn't have ignored it, right? By the way, before I forget, because I know Janie watches my podcast. I don't know about Linda and Jenny, but thought I'd say hi to you guys because we really haven't talked on the phone much. Anyways, and Rick. Hello, Rick. Hello, whoever else is watching. Anyways, yeah, that's as far as I've gotten on the chemo cap. I need to pick it up again and work on it some more, but I just not had time lately. Let's see. Oh, I finished my socks. Why isn't that down in the... I finished them, and I'm sorry if you missed the sale. I had them at, I had them for free through Sunday. And I did tell you I was going to post them on Friday. And I did. So they were free through Sunday. Had a lot of people download them. Told my husband I'd be kind of rich if I actually got the $2.50 for each sock that I sold. Anyways, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, but now they are $2.50. Actually, they might be half price because I put all my patterns half price. I don't think there was a code. If you go to buy one and it won't let you go half price, let me know, because then I'll need to go in and find out what the code is. I can't remember. I posted both things at the same time. I posted my Ginger's Lane, which is the name that my purple socks got. I'd have them on today, but I wore them the other day, so they are back to be washed. Anyways, and then I put all my other socks at half off. So I can't remember everything. I remember Ginger's Lane code was Ginger, because that's my puppy. Okay, let's see. Now, what have I been so busy with? You maybe I put down Shakespeare in Love as a finished object, and I didn't put my socks down here as finished. I think I got those mixed up. What's been having me so busy? Well, I can't really show you the pattern, so I'll kind of leave it all mushed up. But oh, come on. It's a purple. My camera does not like purple, which is sad because I love purple. It's not going to show it. Well, oh, I was going to say, I don't remember what the yarn was. Yes, you do. This is a pattern test for Taiga Hilliard, and I'm doing it. She had it in one color, but I'm going to do it in two. And it's a top-down pattern, beautiful eyelets along in the top, and I believe under the arms for a little bit, and then it's straight stockinette stitch for a while. But the yarn comes from Cat Carrie, my friend, Wild, didn't look like an A in there, and I thought I'd been saying it wrong, Wild Indian Fiber. And the colorways are Amethyst. And then I'm going to be changing to Lapis and Amethyst Sky. And those came from my friend Cat Carrie. She gave me that yarn in payment for my way back cardigan that I had made. That I'd made for her. Then she sent me yarn for that and sent me a couple extra skeins, and I kept thinking, this is so beautiful, what do I want to do with it? Because I wanted to do something for myself. So this sweater is for myself. Then I've got more yarn coming for another pattern for the same lady who I can't remember what it's called. When I start working it, I'll know. I got the UPS tracking today, and it said it's on its way. I said it should be here today, by tonight. So I figured, well, since I usually tape around 10 o'clock, I figured that's when it's going to come. So I waited, and it's like 11:40 right now, and it hasn't come. It's due to. It's bound to before I get finished. I love my UPS man. I just laugh because I haven't been able to talk to him for so long. He's a sweet man. But, okay, so there's that. I can put that there. There it is. Right there by me. Oh, let's see. That's everything there. I got those things done. Okay, well, let me show you acquisitions. Ah. Sometimes it's just easier to bend over and pick something up. Well, this isn't necessarily an acquisition, but my husband has a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday, dear Randy. Happy birthday to him. And he got this in the mail the other day. Yes, my grandchildren call him Grandy. Okay? So got that. She and I had been talking over the weekend, and she had all these little princess pictures, and she asked me which one Grandy would like the most, and she got this one out, and she said, oh, he'll like this because there's lots of green in that picture. So he got this princess picture, and on the back it says, happy birthday, Grandy. I wish you a happy birthday from Genevieve. I would say that it's from her because I don't think Tobias had anything to do with that one. However, then, I think it was the next day, or possibly the following one, they were doing stained glass pictures. And maybe it goes this way. I don't know. I don't want to put it the wrong way. So this is from the grandkids. I think it's special. I think it's special. Now, I did acquire my new knitting needle from Knit Picks so I can start my socks hopefully this afternoon for the soup kitchen. Because I don't have a pair of soup kitchen socks on my needles right now. So I'll do that. And then my husband and I were talking. I said something about, you know, I kind of posed the question, how about if I were to get some bear yarn and dye yarn for my kids, family members for Christmas. So I got some merino, I believe it's merino. Isn't that what I ended up getting? I went to my favorite supplier, Wool to Die For, and I got, it's their platinum sock, which I can't remember. Maybe it's just merino and nylon. I'm not sure. That'll be nice. I'll show it to you as I dye it up, but there won't be any snow dyeing, I hope. So I got 10 skeins, which is a little bit extra, but that's okay because my husband and I always need socks. And so those are my acquisitions, my pictures from my grandkids. So I think I've shown you everything. It's time to just talk for a little bit. Let me lead off with how are you guys doing? Have any of you been affected personally by COVID-19 or family members? I hope not. I've been praying for you guys and hoping that you guys stay healthy. I just, you know, I don't stay in close contact as I wish I did with all of you. Anyways, I did want to tell you about my daughter's blog. She had an interesting entry this week all about boredom. It's Moore's Adventures in World Schooling. There is a link in the show notes. If you click on that, it'll take you to her blog. Read it because it is so cool that her entry this week is about boredom. You know, the kids have been home. They've not been allowed to play with their friends. They're not allowed to go to school. They're not allowed, you know, so many things. And even though she keeps them busy at home, there are times when I'm bored sinks in, or they just want to watch TV, or something like that. Well, her article was really interesting. So if you have kids, grandkids, whatever, you should read that because it is really cool. Yes, I'm prejudiced. It's my daughter, but I've always loved her writing. And then when she writes about the things that she's tried with her kids or things she's experienced with her kids, it just makes it extra special. And like I said, I did get to talk to Genevieve and Tobias. Um, I love those two so much. They just make me smile. Thank you back of the phone call. Um, Unfortunately, usually my phone starts dying before we're really ready to say goodbye, but we still have a really nice conversation. And then yesterday I got a text from my daughter. I asked you to pray for my grandson because he was having a double root canal for, little kids. And he had it yesterday. And so he was under anesthetic. And Molly was allowed to go to the hospital, of course, but she had to sit in the waiting room all by herself. You know, nobody was around. She had to wear a mask and basically just wait for Tobias to get done. And when he got home last night, he was a grumpy little fella. But, I told her he's entitled to be grumpy for a day or two because his teeth are going to feel very weird. So, bless his heart. That's my grandkids. And I talked to my son last night because I wanted to let him know about my grandson's surgery. And he's doing well. His classes are winding down for the semester. He's trying to decide whether to take summer classes or not. But he sounded tired, but it was nice talking with him. So, yeah, he and his wife are doing well. Busy, but doing well. I didn't ask how my grandpuppy is. I forgot. So anyway, so they're all doing well. Then I should let you know, life is coming back to normal little by little. But our governor opened up last week with saying something about they never intended all surgeries to be closed down. But now, starting May 1st, hospitals basically are going to be opening up little by little again. So if you are scheduled to have a surgery or whatever to help with pain, you'll hear from your doctor. Well, I heard from my doctor, and I'm due to have my shoulder surgery in 2 weeks. Yes. Not sure what it entails yet, other than they're saying physical therapy same day. They're hoping. Because we're not expecting it to be anything major. There could be like a cyst in there that's interfering with everything else. And that could be why I have the pain and I can't move my shoulder like I'd like to. But can't tell until he goes in and he explores. And I think if it's a cyst, it's not a big thing. I think he said I'd be in a sling maybe a day or two. Physical therapy, same day, exercises, things like that. If it's anything more major, I may be in a sling a little bit longer or whatever, but we're not expecting major, but if it happens, it happens. So, yeah, then I got a call from my doctor's office saying, my family doctor, saying, well, we just received notification that you were due for surgery on blah, blah day. So we need to get you in for an appointment. So we set it up. We were going to do it today. Well, they called me back. They said, well, you haven't had any of your pre-surgery things. I said, well, no, because I just talked to them on Friday. So I've not received anything in the mail. So then we had to set that appointment back a little bit. That's always something. But that's okay. You know what? All is well. So let me tell you about what's going on at KnitPicks. If you are interested in any of the things that are on sale or anything, if you want to purchase something from KnitPicks, they're having a couple good sales. Anyways, on my show notes under Naturally Kim's Knitting, either at WordPress or Blogger, if you scroll down on the right-hand side of the page, on WordPress you have to scroll quite a ways. I need to figure out how to archive some of my back issues so that they don't list them all. Anyways, if you click on that little thing, That will take you to Knitpicks. That will get, that's the way that I can get a couple pennies. I couldn't figure out why this wasn't working before. And that's why. You have to go to it that way. You can't go to it through the links I put in because that, yeah. And I can't do this through Ravelry. I don't think. I will have to check that out. If so, next week I'll let you know. Anyways, last week they took down their sweet sweater savings, which if you bought 10 or more skeins of cotton blend or cotton yarn, enough for a sweater, and you put a code in. I didn't put down what the code was. You can get $10 off your purchase. Not bad. I'm assuming that the yarn that they had for sale this month must have sold out, because I've noticed last week and this week they didn't have their monthly yarn for sale. But they also still have 40% off of all their books. Almost bought one the other day. It was about spinning. But I decided no. Couldn't do that because I knew I was getting this yarn. And I've got the yarn I'm getting, well, another thing of yarn that I'm getting for Michael's is for, I'm getting confused. I ordered yarn for the other pattern test. Then I also ordered yarn for, to make sweaters for my grandchildren. So anyways, haven't received either one of those yet. Soon. I hope soon. So anyways, that's why I couldn't purchase the book at Knitpicks. Okay, I did read a couple books this week. One of them's right here. Very good book. Now, I didn't read the whole thing because it has 52 different lessons in it. And it could be set up as a Bible study group or individual study. They had an icebreaker session beginning. They have questions at the end. And each section is broken into 5 days with questions. And this is all about how you can find Jesus throughout the Bible, from the book of Genesis. This is in the Old Testament. From the book of Genesis all the way through the book of Malachi. Some of them are things that we've learned growing up, and some of them are surprises. So, yeah, it's a good book. It was by D. Breston, The Jesus Who Surprises. And my book review can be found on Blogspot and on, my phone, and on WordPress, under book reviews on WordPress, and reading, writing, and so much more on Blogspot. Then, this is so good. If you're a parent, I know there have been times that the cranky gene has just creeped up, and all at once, watch out, I'm cranky. Well, this is a humorous but a good guide to, how to help yourself get over those cranky moments. And they have little things like there's triggers that will set you off. Well, learn how to sidestep them. Have 3 little family rules. Have regular family meetings. Anyways, the Cranky Mom Fix. I'm not going to say the name because I know I'll say it wrong. It could be Kapitsky, but I'm not sure. This was from Bethany House. The other book was from Waterbrook. So anyways, good books. Whew, I think that's it. I'm going to be posting the pictures like I have been. I'll put my outside nature pictures and a couple of my grandkids at the beginning, and then I'll put the things that I've talked about during the podcast at the end. I think either my mother-in-law's coming in from weeding dandelions or my husband is home. Anyways, I'm going to close. Ginger, come here. Come here, baby. I hope you guys all have a great week. Stay safe. Take care. God's blessings. I love all. Sorry, I'm petting the dog, trying to get her to stay still. I love you all. Big, big hugs. Oh, I forgot. And whatever your craftiness is, I hope you have a good week with it. I hope you don't make any mistakes. But if you do, I hope they're little ones. Now's when I say, I love you all. Big hugs. Take care. God's blessings. Bye-bye.